I got to cut that out. What's going on, family? How y'all doing? We're going to have some talk today. So if y'all don't mind, share this post. We're going to see if we can get down to it and figure out what's going on around the community. Let's go. What's going on? Kurt, what's going on? YouTube family, Kana, what's going on with you? How y'all doing? Let's go in the house, y'all. Let's go. Give me a call. Yeah, we're gonna you did how you doing, family? Yeah, I want to talk about gentrification as usual with me, business, money, life stuff. We gotta talk about how is people acting, how is people feeling right now? Is gentrification making people humble? What do I mean by that? Is gentrification humbling people? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I think it's a good thing. So we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about why is gentrification humbling people. Give me a second. I'm sitting here inviting people. Thais, how you doing, Queen? We're gonna talk about why is gentrification humbling people. I think it is because it's a lot of people going through stuff. You got a lot of people who be like, I'm too good to live here. I'm too good to be there. ERGJ in the building, y'all. I'm too good to live in that neighborhood. I'm too good to live in a house like that, or I would never rent an apartment. I would never live in an RV. You got a lot of people who have to do all these things now. You got people living on the sidewalk. You got people living in the alley, people living in RVs, living in the hallway of buildings and all kind of stuff. So I think gentrification is humbling people. So, excuse me, I'm always wiping. Every time I get on here, I got to wipe my face, my nose, my eyes, something. But I think that gentrification is humbling people based on the fact that, a lot of people would be like, y'all got any questions? Y'all ask y'all questions. Y'all want to make a statement, say something. You want to tag in, say something and get involved in the conversation, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's going on around here. I think that there's a good and there's a bad to some of the stuff that's going on. Of course, we know what the bad is. You know what I'm saying? Homelessness is bad and all of that. But for some people, I think it's just a lesson. When they end up going homeless and they lose stuff, a lot of people who are going homeless and losing stuff are a lot of those same people that's too good to scale back, or I would never live here. I would never drive a car like that. People who know they too good for certain things, and now all of a sudden the universe is dealing with these kind of people. So when I look at people who ask me for help, who ask me to coach, I can listen to their attitude and can tell they believe personally they're too good to be living in the RV. They're too good to not have a house. You know what I mean? So sometimes I have to just step back and say, you know what? They're trying to pay me to help them fix this situation, but I don't think the situation is what's going on. I think it's the universe trying to humble these people. It's about psychological getting in here, making these people get that out their head that they're too good to scale back. I got people who living in 5,000, 10,000 square foot houses that they should have never been in the first place. And now reality is starting to smack them in the face. And they're like, can you help me? Can you save me and help me save this 10,000 square foot house that me and my 4-year-old daughter live in? You want me to help you save a house that's 10,000 square feet or whatever. This big giant, how it could be 3,000 square feet for all I'm concerned. You want me to help you save this 6-bedroom house and it's just you and your daughter, 4 years old? I think family, we got to look at what's realistic. You know, you want me to help. You got people come to me all the time. Wait a minute, I see a question. I'm riding my car until the wheels fall off. That's what I'm talking about. You know, people got to understand that. I know people who going back and forth, who go to the junkyard and will buy a new engine, a new transmission, and put on that car. You know what I'm saying? Put it back into that car because they know these are good Toyota Camrys, these are good cars or whatever. So they're gonna keep driving that car. And when the motor go out because they got 280,000 miles on it, they call me up and be like, TJ, where can I get a new engine for my car? I love people who think like that. I love them kind of people because them is the kind of people I can ride with. I can run with these people. They're not worried about people saying, oh man, that car is too old. I don't know why you driving that old 2004. You know what I'm saying? That car is too old. That 98. I'll be like, man, please. I'm the kind of cat I will see a car sitting in your driveway on the side of your house on a flat tire and dirty. And I'll be like, what do you want for that 98 Honda? That 98 Toyota Corolla that's sitting there on 4 flat tire. What was wrong with it when you parked it there? Oh, the shop told you that it needed an alternator and it was a starter and it was gonna cost you $1,000, so you decided to go buy a new car. Oh well, shoot, that was all that's wrong. I could put all that on myself. Let me get that 98. How much you want for it? $100? Let me get that. Call my homeboy with the tow truck and come roll us up out of here, and I'll be driving this tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It will be new tires on it, new starter, and it turned out it wasn't even an alternator. It wasn't even a alternator or the starter. It was just a wire to the battery. You know what I'm saying? Something simple like that, and you didn't went out and bought a new car. But that goes back to the people who be lying to us, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't pull the trades out of the schools. So a lot of people don't know how to work on a car like I do, or like a lot of brothers do. Quite cool. How you doing? Nigel, how you doing? Nia, how you doing? Danielle, how you doing? You know, a lot of people don't know how to work on a car like I do. So therefore, they're going to have problems, you know? They're going to have problems and they real quick to just go buy a new car. So it's like, you know, if you can find you a trustworthy mechanic, that'd be cool. But yeah, like I said, I'm real quick. I didn't came up. I have come up over the years, y'all. I have came up like a man, Jack in the Box out the hat or something. I don't know. I've came up like the World Trade Center on the level of buying cars that you thought that was no good. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Buying cars that you thought that was no good. So I turn around and see it on side of your house because you got it in your driveway like it ain't running right. So you gonna go ahead and dump it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go ahead and dump the car. So I'm real quick to say, okay, well, what do you want for that? I'll take it. I will definitely take that, buddy. Uh, okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm just gonna leave that alone. I'm over here doing some stuff, trying to, y'all know I got multiple devices on. So anyway, when I'm coaching people, it can be real irritating. Y'all ain't trying to throw y'all under the bus. I just want y'all to check yourself, humble yourself. So a lot of people who are experiencing gentrification right now, and I hate to say that because I don't want y'all to take it the wrong way, but some people is a lesson. I had to clean that up at the last minute. I was finna say some people deserve it, but I'm gonna say it's a lesson for some people. When I hear people be like, I would never live in no small house like that, 2,500 square feet, they got to be new. Or I would never drive a 98 Honda. As soon as I hear that kind of language, I'd be like, ooh, is this a lesson right here? Is the universe dealing with these people and taking stuff away from them and forcing them to where they got to go talk to TJ and sit down and talk to me for coaching and counseling to save all their stuff? And I look at it like, do you really think we need to save the $900 Mercedes? You leasing this. It's $900 a month. Do you really think we need to try to save that? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean your friends Then tell your friends to help you pay the payment then. If you want to keep it because your friends are so concerned. Tell your friends to loan you about 10,000 to pay it off. If you so worried about what your friends are going to say. Y'all understand what I'm saying? This is Danielle. You doing the most. What is your friends gonna say about you? You concerned about them? Call them up and ask you, hey, you falling behind, and can you loan them? Can they loan you 50,000 to pay the car off, and see how they feel about that? And if they talk about you because you don't have a car no more, oh well, oh well. So what? You know what I'm saying? So I always say, is this a lesson for them? And I'll be real cautious before I jump out. So I always have like an interview. When people come to me and say, TJ, can you coach me? And I want to learn about wealth building. And I always listen. Oh, okay. Well, what do you do now? Why you want to learn about wealth building? Oh, because we got to scale back and I'm only going to get this much money from my job. And I'm trying to save my 6,000 square foot house, 7 bedrooms, five and 6.5 bathrooms, and I'm trying to save my brand new Mercedes truck that I'm leasing for $900 a month. So I got this $10,000 from my job before they let me go, and I want to know if we can make some wealth building so I can keep my stuff. I'll be like, you want me to help you save that? How much is your mortgage? $4,800 a month. And you say you got, how much you got saved? I got about $10,000 from my job. Okay, well, that's what your job gave you. Did you have any money saved outside of your job? No. So now you coming to me with 10 grand. You got a $4,800 a month mortgage note that you behind on, and you got a $900 a month Mercedes truck note that you leasing. I can't help you with that. I really can't. Y'all understand that? And I ain't trying to be mean, but I'm just telling y'all that's a lesson there. That is a lesson. This is not about saving you from gentrification. This is a lesson right here. You come to me and you say your landlord raised your rent and he went up an extra $1,000 a month for you to rent this big old giant house. I'm like, you paying $4,800 a month to rent this house and you don't want to lose it. So you want to know how can you create wealth so that you can afford to keep this house. You don't own the house. I don't want to help you. I'm not going to help. I'm not trying to help people to create wealth so that they can go out and continue to invest in, and I'm not going to help people to set them up for failure. Y'all hear what I said? Somebody else sets you up for failure by renting you a $900 a month BMW, Mercedes truck, or whatever it was. Somebody else set you up for failure by renting you a house at $4,800 in Hollywood somewhere because you ain't even a star. You ain't even a star. You just want to live by stars, you know? You want to rent, and now your landlord is raising the rent, and you want me to come and help you teach you how to make money and all of that so you can save something that somebody set you up for failure? I can't do that. I can't do that. That's too much pressure on me, for one thing. Two, you should have never bought that stuff in the first place. So don't think that I'm a hater. Don't think that I'm jealous of you. Don't think that if your family and friends saying that ain't a good investment, you shouldn't do that. Or that maybe they telling you the real, because that ain't a good investment. That ain't an investment at all. That's a setup for failure. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, are you going to be open for something new? Because when something happens bad, it's usually a window of opportunity for something better. So what's happening? You got $4,800 a month to pay for renting somebody else's house when you can afford to buy a house and not worry about being gentrified and pushed out. So here's the thing. Strategy number one, you got 10 grand from your job. You got a $4,800 a month rent, for example, and a $900 a month BMW note, Mercedes truck note. That house costs money to maintain. That car costs money to maintain. My first opinion is you need to get rid of both of those. That's how I can help you. You need to walk away. What about my credit? Forget your credit. You can't credit that credit ain't gonna feed you. That BMW is gonna break you in half. That houses that you rent is gonna break you in half. So I'd rather you have money that you keep that 10 grand. We can go get you a car from the auction. You know what I'm saying? We can take some of that money and go put that down on buying you a house somewhere else. Not renting, y'all. I said buying. Or maybe we'll buy you a piece of land and an RV for you to live on, and you can build a house later on while you save your money for later, you know? So here's something that I noticed, y'all. I ain't trying to compare us to white folks. Have you ever noticed white folks got a lot of RVs? Have y'all ever noticed that white folks got a lot of RVs? It seems like when you're in a nice neighborhood and you see white folks, they all got RVs. You ever notice that? You know why they got them RVs? Because they know if times get hard, they gonna move in their RV. That's what's going on with that. Lauren, how you doing? Saying, what's going on, family? If it get hard, white folks will walk away from their house and move in that RV. Y'all hear what I just said? They will move in their RV. So my question for you, are you too good to move in an RV? See, because I see a lot of people, I've been in situations where I was coaching people and my homeboy, well, I won't go into all that. People will be like, honey, that's a good idea. TJ said we can get an RV and we can buy a piece of land. They'd be like, I'm not moving to no RV. You can forget about that. It's like, so you going to go ahead and lose everything because you're not going to move in an RV. They want to keep trying to figure out how to save what they got. When the reality was they should have never bought that stuff in the first place, you know? Anybody got any questions for me? Y'all want to chime in with this, what I'm talking about? Am I over the top with this one, y'all? Is this too much? Is anything wrong with trying to save your dream home that you shouldn't be renting? Let's get this straight. Your dream home should not never be a rental property, y'all. Let me get that straight now. Let's get that straight. You say, oh, TJ, this is my dream home. I always wanted this house. My homies be like, man, this is my dream car. I always wanted a Bentley. My first question is, did you buy it or are you leasing it? Did you buy it or are you renting that house? If they say renting, that's a mistake right there. That ain't your dream home. You should not be your dream home should never be a rental property. Yeah, your dream home should not be no rental. Your dream home should not be, your dream car should never be a lease. Y'all hear what I just said? You should own it. If it's all that and it's a super nice house, you need to own it. If it's a super nice car that you always dreamed of having, you should buy it. You should buy it. Y'all know what my dream car is? Y'all want me to tell y'all what my dream car is? My dream car is the car that's paid off. Y'all hear what I just said? The car I got a pink slip in my pocket or the pink slip in my house up in the safe somewhere. That's my dream car. The one that got affordable insurance on it. You know what I'm saying? Full coverage insurance affordably. That's my dream car. That's my dream car. What you guys said? I laughed at a guy that stayed in the RV, but then I realized he is saving so much money. See what I'm saying? See, Cynthia, you one of them bad ones. You laughed at him, made him feel bad about himself. Did you go back and tell him, cousin, that was a good move? See, we got to go back and tell people that, that was a good move. I laughed at you. My apologies for that. But now I realize you saving money because you didn't move in your RV. You over here off 135th in Maine or something like that, living on the side of the road in this old dusty and busted RV over here. But yet, I didn't realize that you still working at my same company with me and you making that same $5,000 a month that I'm making, but you just said you paid cash for that RV. It was only $1,500 and it had a new motor in it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no bills. He just, all he paying is his cell phone bill and the insurance on that RV. That's it. And y'all know insurance on RVs was cheap back in the days. Matter of fact, that's something that needs to be checked. Anybody in here got insurance? Got an RV and got insurance on it? Because I remember my insurance on my boat and the insurance on my RV was dirt cheap, like $300 a year. because they know you ain't gonna take that boat out but a few times a year. You ain't gonna take that RV out but about a couple times a year. They already know that. So the insurance on them was very cheap. But now that people moving in them heavily, I'm pretty sure they didn't raise the prices on them. But I guarantee you it's a lot more cheaper than it is to live in a house or to pay on the house. Uh-oh. I'm like, what did I do? So yeah, thank you, Miss Danielle. What y'all got for me? Anybody got any questions? Let's talk about it. So we need not be laughing at people who living on the side of the road in RV. Oh, let me tell y'all my boat story. Let me tell you my boat story. I remember being at Lake Havasu with my homeboys, and I got this big old race boat, and I'm pushing down the lake, and I'm just boom boat like 100,000. I'm like, yeah, look at me, I'm doing it. I got my dream boat, right? All of a sudden I seen these cats in a little bitty rowboat with a little motor on the back, and they like they putting on like they was fishing. But we out here where people ain't fishing. This is where all the race boats at, the party boats, and everybody coming to hang out at, right? I'm out, like I said, I'm out here in a big giant eliminator, just clowning, having fun with this boat or whatever I was in, the Nordic or one of them. And I looked at them in that little boat, they putting along, all of that. And I start laughing, like I can't believe. And my stupid mind at the time said, I can't believe they even came out here like that. I can't believe it. That's embarrassing. I'm out here on a $100,000 boat. They out here on an $800 boat. Y'all hear what I just said? Years later, divorce came and wiped me out. I'm walking around, ain't even got a boat no more. Y'all hear what I just said? Didn't even have a boat. My friends calling me, you coming out to the lake? You coming out to the lake? I'm lying. Oh man, I ain't gonna make it this week. I got some stuff to do. Got me lying. The reality is I ain't even got a boat no more. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward the story, all of a sudden, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I wonder what them people pay for that little boat. Because I really miss going to the lake, that I would get me a little rowboat and just to be out there. Y'all hear what I just said? I was wondering, and that's how I know that boat costs $800, because I went and looked it up. I'm like, wow. I'm out here pricing the little bitty tin boat that people go fishing on, trying to see how much that costs so that I can go pull that out there to the lake so I can say I was there. And that's what I failed to understand. The people who had that little $800 putt boat, they can say they was there and they wasn't begging somebody else to be on their boat. They was on their own boat. They wasn't begging me like people would always, TJ, can I ride out there with y'all to Havasu? Can I hang out with you on the boat? And I'll be like, we already full. You know what I'm saying? I was very funny style with bringing people to the lake with me on my boat and stuff. You know, I was very funny style. But long story short, people would always ask, and I'd be like, nah, I'm cool. You know, all of a sudden now I know how that was. Now all of a sudden, you know, I'm like, dang, now I gotta ask somebody, can I go with y'all? You know, which it wasn't no problem, but I just remembered about it, how I was and how I felt, you know. But all of a sudden now they got me, I'm too proud. I'm not gonna ask my homeboys, can I ride with y'all on the boat? I'm always on your boat anyway when we out there. I had to catch myself and say, man, I know I got about $800 that I can buy me one of them little steel rowboats. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna see how much that costs. And then, you know I ain't got the $65,000 dually no more. I ain't got that no more. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm like looking like, okay, well, let me pull my 90 Suburban out. Yeah, I got to pull out my 90 Suburban back there that I really wasn't dealing with driving it that much. I just got it, you know what I'm saying, on a whim from one of the guy that owed me some money. You know, let me go and dust that old Suburban off, that 90 with the brand new engine in it, the beefed up transmission, the big wheels and tires on there, and the gas guzzler. Let me go on, pull that out, and let me get me a little $800 boat. Man, y'all, it got real. I really was missing being on the lake. And I'm like, I had to humble myself, go way down there. So that's what I think. Gentrification is humbling people, y'all. Gentrification is humbling people. So when we see people like that, that's struggling and having a hard time, that could be you. You know what I'm saying? That could be you. So please don't be clowning people. Don't be laughing at people. We need to be trying to help people. We need to help people out. Now, at the same time, when somebody's having a hard time and they about to lose the house, they about to lose that BMW, and they ask you to loan them some money and they get mad because you tell them no, just know that don't feel guilty. Just know that the universe is probably dealing with them. They humbling them because they think everybody know the people that I'm talking about. You know, oh, you too good to live in a small house in Compton. You too good to move in the not so good area of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? That you gonna put everything on the line. You're gonna break your 401k open so that you can afford to keep renting that house or keep renting that BMW, leasing that BMW, Mercedes truck, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That ain't cool, y'all. So I always get out the way. So like I said, to this day, when people come to me and ask me to coach them, they be thinking TJ gonna save us. He gonna teach me how to make money because he used to do this and he had that. He used to be a realtor. He was a mortgage broker. He built houses. He know a lot about real estate. So he gonna help us. He can help us. And I'm telling y'all, when I hear the scenario, you want me to help you save your $4,000 a month apartment? You want me to help you save your $900 a month BMW SUV or your BMW convertible 650 convertible, and you don't own none of that stuff and you want me to help you save it? I'll be like, you know what? I think this is a lesson right here. This ain't about me trying to help you to create wealth and be rich and you complaining, you telling me your landlord raised the rent on you and you mad at the landlord, you want to file a lawsuit on the landlord, you want to come to my gentrification meeting and push TA, we need to file a lawsuit. We need rent control in these neighborhoods. We need rent control. And I always ask them, where you live? How much you paying? Oh, you live over there and you paying how much? How much you make? You make $6,000 a month, right? And you didn't rented something that's 4,800 a month, and you didn't got an $800 a month BMW note. Oh, they don't want to talk to me further. Oh, no, it ain't no wells. You didn't need to buy that. That landlord raising that rent on you, he know you can't afford it. Now he got some people who really can afford to be there, and he's like, you know what? I'm raising the rent. It's going to $6,000 a month. Now you pissed off and angry and mad. But the reality is you shouldn't have never rented that spot in the first place. Now, again, I'm not trying to hate on people. I'm just saying a lot of people that I see that come to me and ask me for help are in situations that they shouldn't have never been in the first place. Plain and simple. They shouldn't have never been in those situations. They should have never rented that BMW. They should have never bought that, rented that big old house. They shouldn't have never went out. I had somebody tell me, I was talking to somebody, oh, and I hate to say this, but I gotta, y'all, please believe I'm not on here to blast my family, not here to blast y'all. I'm just here to blast y'all back into the right spot. Y'all hear what I said? I'm not here to talk bad about you and put you down and embarrass you if you feel like TJ just coached us and he's putting us out there on the social media. No, you said something that really got under my skin, and I said, damn, well, if they doing it, I'm sure somebody else is doing it too. I'm sure somebody else is doing that too. So how about I'm coaching somebody the other day, and they don't have the money to pay me to coach them, right? They did a consultation, right? But they like strapped for cash and they want me to help them to save their situation. And I'm like, okay, so we start going down the bills. I got to look at them bills, y'all, because I'm looking for the money. It's always some money in your situation. And when people got to tell me about what they paying for that money, it always comes out. You want me to go to war with your landlord. You want me to give you the ammunition so that you can go to war with your car lot, tell you they screwed you over when you got that car. But as soon as I ask you for them numbers, okay, how much you make a year? You make 60,000. How much is that a month? Uh 5,000, something like that. You make 5,000 a month. Okay, the house note is this much, the rent is that, I mean the car note is that much. What is this bill right here? Okay, it sound like you should have $1,000 a month left. Where's that thousand? And then they just looking like, well, what does this got to do with anything? They went crazy. What this got to do? Why you gotta ask all these questions? We got the money. We want to know how much you're gonna charge to save or help save us, you know? And I'm like, okay, well, dang, I'm just asking because I'm trying to see where the money at. Well, we ain't here to ask you to give us an audit. We want to know what do we got to do to save everything. And I say, long story short, I sound like y'all got $1,000 left, and I'm just curious to what is it going on. What did it go for? It was paying for a diamond ring for $925. Yeah, I'm going there because I think somebody else needs to hear this. You know, Tasha, how you doing? The husband got quiet. This is what happened. The husband sitting there, and when I said, where that thousand? The husband goes, like, I ain't got nothing to do with that. So now that really make me like, what $1,000 at? And the lady is, why you asking? Why you got to be all in this? And she's sitting there with this big old rock on her finger. I'm like, damn, they got bread. You know, from the appearance, they got money. Big old diamond ring, big old brand new car outside. The address they gave me is a hell of a lease house, you know. So I'm like, okay, well, and I'm sitting there thinking, how much did y'all pay that ring off? And my buddy go, he turned his head. He was like, I could see his cheeks flare up, and he just like, that's where the money is at. We paying $925 a month for her ring, but we out here struggling, and she not willing to give up that ring. Y'all hear what I just said? We paying $925 a month for that ring. When times was good, I was able to go in there and put a bunch of money down on this ring, her dream ring, right? But I'm still paying on it. And I got 5 years of paying on this ring because it's a big boy. It's a big ring. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there like, she looking at me like, you can get that out your head. This ain't going nowhere. But here's the flip side, y'all. It ain't just the ladies, it's the brothers. The sister, I'm in another conversation, and the sister says, ask him how much is his car note. I'm like, oh man, here we go again. Ask him how much is his car note for that Dodge Hellcat. Something crazy, right? Ask him how much did he pay for that Dodge. And he just sitting there looking stupid, like, he's shaking his head like, why you throwing me under the bus like that? Same conversation. He ain't trying to get up out that Dodge Hellcat, if that's the right car, y'all. And I ain't even know what that was until that day, y'all. I'm like, a Dodge Hellcat, you know, like them cars expensive. He like, that car was almost $100,000, and he paying $1,100 a month for the car for a lease, something like that. I'm like, but they struggling in both cases. It's like most cases, they struggling, they falling behind, they're about to lose everything, but they ain't willing to let certain things go. They ain't willing to let things go that's going to save them. You notice how when you're looking at the movies and the helicopter, the plane flying, or the helicopter or the hot air balloon, and all of a sudden they start going down lower and lower, they say, we too heavy, we need to get rid of some stuff, right? So all of a sudden they start throwing out everything. Man, that was the food. He said, do you want to be dead and full, or do you want to be living and hungry and find some food later? You know what I'm saying? It's like, we need to get rid of everything so that we can make it where we going, or we going to crash. Well, that's what I see right now. They ain't willing to give up nothing, and they going to end up crashing and burning because they ain't willing to give up the diamond ring. They ain't willing to give up the Dodge Hellcat or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And they going to lose everything because they like, I ain't got to give it up. Can't you just help us save make some money? You Mr. Monetizing Gentrification. We came to you because you such and such said you helped them make some money and create wealth. Can't you help us? I'm like, you know what? Y'all just told me y'all was missing some money. Who we got here? L.A. Claw, too. What's going on, family? Who is this? Who is this? Let's see. What you got? You want to get in on this one? I hope this ain't nobody I didn't talk to. I'm talking about here. Who was that? L.A. Claw, you there?
Oh, my bad. I didn't know that I was going to be on your video.
Oh, okay.
Greetings to you, brother. I missed your seminar at Simply Wholesome recently. I wanted to touch bases with you. Peace and love. I appreciate all the information about gentrification. You're right on the money, man.
Okay, I appreciate you, brother. I thought you was somebody calling with a diamond ring or a Dodge Hellcat. All right, brother. I appreciate you. All right, family. So yeah, it's like we got to really wake up and pay attention to the things that's holding us back. So I asked again, the title of this live was all about, is gentrification humbling people? Y'all hear what I said? Is gentrification humbling people? So if you using words like I would never live here, I would never drive something like that, I would never do this, I would never move in a neighborhood like that, I would never buy a house in Compton, I would never buy a house in East Atlanta, I would never move to Alabama, it's too small, it's a hick town out there or something, then trust and believe the universe is probably gonna deal with you to where you ain't got no choice. Robert, what's going on, family? I see a lot of them. Marcus, what's going on? Kilgore in the house. What's going on? That's an old name right there. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people who having mental issues of what they would never give up. They would never let this go. They would never live here. They would never live in an RV. I had that conversation a lot, y'all. I would never move in an RV. I was like, okay. Now, y'all know how I know about all this kind of stuff, how I was able to write this book. Matter of fact, let me show y'all the book. If y'all ain't got the book already, let me show y'all. Monetizing Gentrification. We'll sign a copy earlier. Get y'all a signed copy of Monetizing Gentrification. What we talking about? I talked about it in the book, family. I already covered this. I already got the RV in the book talking about people who think they too good. $32 to your door if you in the US. If you outside of the US, add another $25 to that. You see what I'm saying? Inbox me or you can cash at me, money sign Thomas TJ Lofton, or go to my website, thomastjlofton.com. So anyway, I wrote that book after traveling around the country and assessing what was going on. But I said earlier, I'm talking from experience, y'all. Y'all know why I know about RVs is affordable to live in, boats is used, yachts is affordable to live in, buying a piece of land and putting your RV on is affordable, because I had to do all that in my lifetime. I done been through some things. People think I'm Superman, super rich, got it like that. I had a lot of bread back in my day. I done been there and done that. But trust me, the universe put me through some stuff so that I can come here and teach y'all the game. Y'all know that? A lot of people tell me all the time, I ain't never heard nobody say anything like that. You the first person that ever said something like that. Buy a piece of land and live in an RV and build a house. You the first person that ever told me to build a house. I ain't never knew to build a house is cheaper than buying a house. So I went through all of this stuff so that I could teach y'all. So you got to look at it. Now, when I was going through that stuff, I didn't see it like that. Now I was pretty pissed off too. I was mad. But one thing about me, I'm not finna ask you for nothing, so I'm gonna give up something real quick. I didn't sleep on my cousin's couch before. Y'all hear what I said? I didn't have to sleep on my cousin's couch because something hit me in the head. Black Legacy, what's going on? Gabby, what's going on? Gabby Bowles in the house, y'all. Hadrian, what's going on, family? So the question of the day was, is gentrification humbling people? Should we jump out there and help people because they say, hey, help me out, loan me some money. I know you got it. Help me save my $5,000 a month apartment that I'm renting. Help me save my $1,200 a month Dodge Hellcat that I leased. just because I want to drive fast and I wanted my friends to like me more, so I got a Dodge Hellcat. You know what I'm saying? Or a brand new BMW convertible or SUV Mercedes or something. Should we be trying to help them? Or should they be trying to humble themselves and say, you know what? We're going to turn that bad boy back in. We're going to call the landlord and say, you know what? You're just going to have to tear my credit up because I can't afford to keep paying you $5 a month to rent this apartment. You hear what I'm saying? Miss Kai, what's going on? Kai, come on, jump in on this conversation here. Clarence, what's going on? Should we be trying to bail people out that bought something or leased something or rented something that they should have never bought in the first place? Or the landlord raised their rent on their $5,000 a month house, and now it's way more. I know people like $5,000 a month for a house. Well, see, I'm talking LA prices. So by the time you get back to Atlanta, you know, you got people $1,000 a month is the average for rent in Atlanta, but so $2,500 would probably be excessive for rent in Atlanta. That would be way over the top excessive. So when we got friends that and family who went overboard and rented stuff, and we know that, dude, you paying $2,500 a month to live in that little bitty 700 square foot loft in New York. And you having some financial difficulties, and now you want me to come in there and loan you some money and you talking about you'll pay me back? Nah, that's called setting them up for failure. Because why is that? Because you can find something somewhere else much cheaper. You may have to drive a little further. You may have to catch the train. You know what I'm saying? I got people, I was one of them kind of cats. I ain't getting on the train. I ain't that kind of guy. I lived in California all my life, and I never rode a train in California since I was a kid. That all that metro and all of that kind of stuff, I never rode that. I was not getting on nobody's train. That just was not me. You see what I'm saying? I did not getting on nobody's metro. I didn't get on the train until I was like last year when we went to New York working on that documentary and that book and stuff, and I was speaking out there. They talked me into getting on the train in Manhattan, New York. You know what I'm saying? And riding it back to my book signing in at the Sisters Uptown Bookstore. I got on that train and was up and I fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? But I would never do that in LA, California, and all of that. But what I thought I would never do, I ended up doing it. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm probably gonna ride the train very soon because I'm gonna go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And the parking is ridiculous where I'm going. And it's like I could take a lift to get dropped off over there. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Yeah, I'll be like, I could take a lift to get over there. Lift gonna cost me about $25. Train gonna cost me about $3. Don't even quote me. I don't even know how much the train costs. I done rode it, but normally I get the money to somebody else or something and they pay for it when I'm getting in, but I'm sure it's less than $10. But long story short, so yes, I will be getting back on the train. I found myself doing the Metro thing, the Metro. In California, it's called the Metro. In Atlanta, it's called the MARTA or something like that. So I've humbled myself something serious, y'all. I thought I wasn't gonna make it without a car in my life, you know? Now I'm like, I'm always on the metro. I mean, I'm always on the plane, flying around the country, speaking all over the country. I'm always renting cars all around the country. I'm always in the backseat of somebody's Lyft. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in the backseat. So it's like, I really didn't need no car. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't need no big house no more because I'm never in one place for a very long time. So what it would look like me having a big old giant house in Atlanta for? What do I need 5,000 square feet in Atlanta for? I'm thinking like I need something safe and you know what I'm saying, that I could be gone for long periods of time, that you know, I ain't got to worry about nobody breaking in my house or something like that. So I got to think about these things. I'm on TV, I'm on Facebook Live, and I'm sitting here with these people having money, looking like I got money, and all of my faces splattered all around the country. Do y'all think I need to have a big old giant house sitting up vacant? Did y'all hear about celebrities where people breaking in their houses and stuff and chilling and enjoying life? And it's like, well, he's out of the town. He's in Cuba performing for the next 6 weeks, or he's working on the movie in Dubai. He be gone for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, man, please. So when I started traveling, the thoughts about what I needed and the thoughts about what I wanted, the reality became very humbling to where I was like thinking. I remember saying, I'm gonna get me a new Mercedes. I already got one, but I want a newer one, right? And I was ready to get one. I was at the auction, of course. I was never going to the dealer. And then all of a sudden, I turn around and I'm every time I come home, something was wrong with my car. I had my little truck. Matter of fact, the windows wouldn't go down, or the truck tire air ran out. And I'm like, why am I paying insurance? I'm paying $100 a month for some insurance, and I ain't using the car. The car's sitting in the driveway. The car been sitting in the driveway for 4 months, and then I came home and drove it for one day, and then all of a sudden I was back on the plane the next day. You know what I'm saying? So I had to humble myself and say, you know what? I don't need that. I really don't need this car. I had to humble myself and say, you know what? I really don't need this house. I really don't need that apartment looking at the beach or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? I had to humble myself and scale back. You know, I like traveling more. I like going out there helping people, you know? So is gentrification really hurting people, or is it humbling people? There's a difference now. We ain't talking about the people. We ain't talking about grandma and the landlord raised the rent on her $800 a month apartment. We ain't talking about that. We talking about those of us who are too good to scale back. That's who we talking about. Y'all hear what I'm saying? That's who we talking about. Right on. Anybody want some of this? Who want to get in and speak on this? You know, so are we hurting? Y'all got a question for me, a statement? Go on, jump in there. Are we hurting people? Y'all want to come on in and talk? Y'all want to share the platform with me and tell me a story? And let's throw some solutions in behind it, y'all. That's what we're here for. I'm not here to talk bad about nobody. I'm not here to brag about what I had or let y'all know I'm really broke or anything. I'm just saying we got to humble ourselves, because people, like my cousin said, her friend was living in an RV and she laughed at him, but then she realized later, damn, he's saving a lot of money. I feel like I'm saving a lot of money right now. I remember when I had all the money. Yeah, let me give y'all another example. I remember when I had all the money and I ain't never really went nowhere with the money. Y'all hear what I said? Ain't never been to Jamaica. Ain't never been to the Bahamas. Ain't been to none of that. I went to Hawaii one time for a weekend, and it was like, man, you know, I want to go to Jamaica, but ain't never went. But yet had money up the yang, just doing it. Had plenty of money, you know what I'm saying? But never been there. But guess what? Now I forget the Bahamas and all of that. I'd never been to Atlanta before. I'd never been to Alabama, North Carolina, or South Carolina. I'd never been to New York before. I always wanted to go to these places. I always had the money to pay to go to these places, but I never had time to go to these places. But guess what, y'all? Now I got plenty of time to go to these places. They pay me to go to these places now. So now I'm like, oh, let's stay an extra week in New York. Let's stay an extra week in Maryland. Let's stay an extra week in wherever I'm at, because I want to look around and see what's going on out here with the real estate. So now, because I was able to scale back and cut off all this extra stuff that I didn't need, now I was able to do more. And I'm like, wow, I ain't got to hurry up and get back to the house and check on it. I ain't got to hurry up and get back and start my car and drive it around the corner because it's been sitting up too long. I ain't got all them problems no more. But I can say, hey, you know what? I like Atlanta. I'm probably going to pick up something, stay out here, you know, quarterly, bi-coastal living situation. Matter of fact, I like, you know, another state too. I think I'm going to pick up something out there, something small where I can just get in and out and ain't got to worry about it. No, nothing like that. You know, my whole perception changed. They're like, ain't you gonna buy a new car or something? A car? Like, I'm always renting cars. I rent more cars than anything, you know. I don't want to rent a car, but it's just convenient. I'm always in the back of a Lyft because everywhere I go, parking be super expensive or something like that. And I'm like, dang, the parking cost is exactly the amount of money I would pay to park the car. I'm sorry, the park, yeah, the cost of money that it would cost me. It's cheaper to take a Lyft up there and get dropped off versus paying $30 for parking. I can catch the lift up there for $6 and catch the lift back for $5.50 because it'll be after a certain hour, $5, and boom, versus the parking is $40 over here, you know? So they are pricing stuff to make us come out of these cars if y'all ain't paying attention to that. So anyway, family, anybody want to chime in on this conversation? Miss Kai, you gonna come in and chop it up with us? Who we got on here? Anybody want to chop it up? Get in the conversation. Let's talk about healing the nation. All right, family, that's all I want to talk about. So it's just a thought of, is gentrification humbling people? That's what I think about. You know, when I'm sitting on Facebook, when I'm sitting down with people and I'm teaching them about business, I'm teaching them about real estate, you know, and I'm always getting in their business. And it's like, you got to scale back, y'all. You don't need that $900 a month wedding ring or the $1,000 a month car, that lease. You don't need a $5,000 a month apartment here in Hollywood. I had some friends who was paying over $5,000 a month to live in a little small 2-bedroom apartment, and they was having a hard time. They was having a hard time because something had happened and they had to scale. They wasn't making that money no more like they was. They sure wasn't trying to move. They wanted to keep that place. Talking about little Joshua liked the school, his school he in. I'm like, you know what? It don't matter if you like it or not. Don't go broke trying to keep your son, your children happy. You know what I'm saying? Don't go broke trying to keep your wife happy. If you got to take that wedding ring back, you got to take it back. If you got to take that Dodge Hellcat back, you got to take it back. If you got to take that, whatever it is that you got that's cost too much money back, then that's what you got to do, family. Quit trying to impress people that would never help you pay a payment. Y'all hear what I said? Quit trying to impress people that would never help you pay a payment. And then you got people who do got the money. Don't ask your family or friends to help you pay for something that you shouldn't have never bought. Y'all hear what I just said? Do not ask people to bail you out of something that you never should have bought in the first place. All right, family, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to be in, now we got to pay some bills. I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia this Friday at the African J Lee, 6:30 p.m. I'll be up there with brother Itero. What is that? I'll be up there with brother Itero. We're gonna have a family discussion called the future of Black ownership, y'all. We gotta talk about that. You know, we really gotta go in. We're gonna have a family discussion about the future of Black ownership, y'all, how critical it is. And we're not just gonna talk about it, we're gonna be in there with some solutions and strategies. So come on out and support. It is a free event. Brother Itero at the African J Lee, he said, you know what, y'all? It's a lot of people having problems out here, TJ. Gentrification is really messing people up. So please come out and let's sit down and let's do something regularly and talk about stuff and help people out. That's what he wanted to do. So, hey, y'all, I appreciate when somebody allowed me a platform, bring me out to speak at a place. And then on Sunday, I'll be at the Black Dot Bookstore giving a full-blown presentation. That's $25, where I'm going to run it down to y'all. This is what's happening. This is where it's happening. And check this out. And this is what you can do to monetize this gentrification. And I'm doing the book signing. Y'all can meet the author. You know, a lot of people been getting onto this book because they seeing that it's a lot of solutions in this book. I have a lot of people telling me, man, I didn't know all that was in that book. I've been looking at that book on my wife's table for the last 4 months. And I never picked it up. And now all of a sudden I pick it up and find out they got solutions to the problems that I'm dealing with. You know, it's like sometimes as women, the sisters can't be like, you need to read this. We got to just pick up things on our own. And I felt that. But the brother called me and apologized. I'm like, what you apologizing to me for? You need to apologize to your wife. He said, nah, man, I just seen that it was a brother on there. And I was like, I ain't got to read that. I already know my stuff. Then when he read it, he was like, damn, I wish I would have read this 5 months ago. I would have never had to do this. I would have never gave that up or something like that. So anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in, checking me out. You want to get a copy of that book, go to thomastjlofton.com. You want to order up a ticket to go to the presentation coming up on this Sunday in Lithonia, Georgia for $25. Prepaid $25, $30 at the door. You can go to my Facebook page or my Eventbrite page under ThomasTJLofton.com is the Facebook. That's LOFTIN. Or you can go to my Eventbrite page and punch in either Thomas T.J. Lofton or the future of black ownership. And it should come right on up and you can go ahead and register. So I appreciate y'all. Bring a friend. Let everybody know I'm coming to town. And I will also be back in Compton, California on November the 23rd. I will be there on November 23rd giving a major presentation breaking down what's going on, family. We got a lot to talk about. You know, Compton is a very serious city where it's dealing with a lot of gentrification. So we got to talk about that, family. We got to talk about it. And that's why I'm going to be back in Compton, my hometown. You know what I'm saying? I'm humbled to be invited to go speak there because that's where I grew up at, in Compton. And to find out that a lot of people are all over the country are sad and telling me, TJ, I ain't got a neighborhood no more. I can't go back to people where I know. I grew up in this neighborhood. Now I don't know nobody over there. TJ, I grew up. I've been living in that neighborhood for 22 years. He leave and come back after 3 years. Now he don't know not one person there because it had been gentrified. So that's why I was humbled that they invited me to come back out to the city I grew up in and help with the fight to save it. You know what I'm saying? I'm humbled about that. They got platforms there that I can go speak and share on a regular basis. So y'all come on out November 23rd. You can go to my Eventbrite and register. Seating is limited because we're going to pack that house out there in Compton. It's also a free event. And we're going to be doing some serious talking. If y'all came out to the redlining and gentrification roundtable discussion this past Saturday, that was a very interesting meeting. You know, I want y'all to know, here's my disclaimer. I was not in charge of that. I was thrown in at the last minute, which I was humbled and appreciated. The people who run the museum was like, TJ need to be on this panel discussion that they given. And they had some other people arrange it, the South Bay Chamber. And, you know, some people just have different opinions. You know, I don't think that gentrification should be a topic that we should be in there debating over. I think that people need solutions and answers, and that's what we should be coming in there for. We ain't supposed to come in there to promote our business and stuff like that. If you in there selling anything that ain't got nothing to do with gentrification, you don't need to be on that panel discussion. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no researched background, if you don't know nothing about it, don't come in there and slap people in the face and tell them silly things that you don't know nothing about. We got to learn how to stay in our lane and stop telling people that I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. If you ain't researched and got solutions, you should not be there. You know, I ain't trying to hate on nobody. I'm just saying you got a lot of people that was very upset and disappointed because they came in there with their questions and was looking for answers. So you got people who losing their houses, we got people who's trying to be pushed into selling their houses. You got people who they raise the taxes on. These are the questions that they're coming desperately to seek the answers for. And now people making bad statements, you know, and then it was just a really bad scenario, you know. It was a really bad scenario. And I feel like that's why people always ask me, why do you always do your own events? Why do you always do your own meetings? Because I don't like to be in contradictory situations where I got to go back and say something against what somebody else just said. You know, just like the dude reached out, the dude turned around and tried to put the mic in my face and said, TJ, would you rather have $100,000 in cash or would you rather have $100,000 in credit? I said, I'll take the $100,000 in cash because cash is king. And that dude was not happy about that answer because his whole thing was credit. Instagram, y'all about to go out. So reach out to me if y'all need me to book me to speak or at your event or something like that. 310-619-3954. Again, 310-619-3954. Other than that, check y'all out later. So I'm going to be winding down shortly. So I'm going to finish my story and I'm going to get on out of here. Here. Yeah, so if you're on YouTube, please click like and subscribe and follow me. If you're on Instagram, please y'all go on my Instagram and follow me or something like that. Follow, share, whatever, click like. Same thing with Facebook. Go to my business page, my public figure page, and click like. But what was I saying a second ago before Instagram started going out on me? That's how I know it's time to get off. I've been on for an hour when I wasn't planning on being on that long. But family, we can do better. But that's why I do a lot of stuff myself, because people have different agendas and they're not as well researched as I am. People think that they can just talk on a topic and they're very smart and articulate, so they can just go in there and wing it. But when people got serious questions, you can't wing it. You got to know. You got to be able to answer a question. When somebody says, is a reverse mortgage a good mortgage? You got to be able to say no and why. So getting back to the credit story, the brother said, would I take $100,000 in credit or would I take $100,000 in cash? I said I would take the cash all day, any day, because cash is king and credit is not. And the guy did not like that answer because he's pushing credit repair. So why did I say that, y'all? I said I would take credit because I said I would take cash. Let me repeat myself. I said I would take cash purely based on the fact that during the housing market crash in 2002 to 2006, when the market crashed, 2006 and 7, all the way out to that time, I saw people who had $50,000 in credit cards and they wasn't even using them. All of a sudden they start dropping. Y'all heard what I said? Because they knew it's a strong possibility because of the housing market is crashing. These people who have bought things that they don't need, they're going to turn around and charge it up and try to pay it off with their credit cards. So I saw people trying to pay their credit cards down, and I saw the credit card companies closing them out. So if I took $100,000 and put it under my mattress, and all of a sudden the market crashed, I'm gonna look under my mattress. That $100,000 gonna still be there. But if I took I had $100,000 in credit cards. It's like being on the stock market. You got to watch it every day and hope that the bank don't decide they want to take their credit back. It ain't got nothing to do with your credit. So here's another reason why I don't like credit like that. Now, I ain't never said you don't need credit, but I said I don't like credit personally because credit pushed the cost of everything up, more expensive. When they realized, they said we're gonna create a game because people are paying cash for these cars. They saving their money up and they paying $1,000, $2,000 for a car, and they cool. Why don't we turn them? They paid off. They don't owe no money. We don't want people to be riding around liquid, got cash because they got a paid off car. We want people to keep paying forever. So they say, hey, you can get you a new car because we gonna finance it for you with your good credit. And now, you qualify for a $50,000 car. Give us that same $2,000 down. Now all of a sudden we can push your note out 7 years, and you'll only be paying like $350 a month for that Mercedes truck that you always wanted. You can't afford the Mercedes truck. That's why they pushing the price out so long. So it was because of credit that made it possible. But the reality is you don't need to be paying nothing for 7 years. You hear what I just said? You don't need to be paying for nothing for 3-4 years. You need to get something that you can pay off. We don't need credit. Credit has been hurting people since day one. Because of credit, the more people get on credit, the more expensive things become, family. And I'll leave us with that. The more people that use credit, the more expensive things become. The more people that walk away from credit, the more inexpensive things become. We want to bring this market back down where we can have affordable housing. Stop using credit, and I guarantee you it's going to drop because they're going to realize Black people, we got $1.4 trillion of black dollars that just pulled out of the credit market. It'll tank the whole market. Car prices, house prices will come down overnight, instantly, just like that, y'all. I guarantee you. But right now, they know you got good credit. They're going to raise the prices up as high as they can get. I'm done, y'all. Appreciate y'all time. If y'all need me to come out to y'all city, state, or country, reach out to me, 310-619-3954, or go to my website and book me. So you want to talk about something, your consultation, you want to take a training class and learn about wealth building, same thing. TomTJLofton.com, family. Peace.